Hallelujah. Many of you have lost your excitement. Your excitement in waiting for God. Many of you are very disappointed but don't want to say anything. How come it has not happened yet? What do I have to do? Many of you feel like, you know what, it's too late to even happen. This should have been have happened. But I'm still going to praise even though I'm disappointed. I'm still going to give thanks even though I don't understand. But God, why did you write it like this for me? Why did it have to be this way for me? And many of you feel that way. And it's shown in your prayer life. And it's shown in your love language towards God. Because when God is mentioned, when God is celebrated, many of us show on the outside how we know we're supposed to feel on the inside. But on the inside, we pulled away from God because we're disappointed. But we don't want to mention that we are. How come I'm on this job? How come I make this much? How come I live like this? How come I can't have the life that I want to live? How come I'm still waiting for this? How come I'm still waiting for that? God, I know I'm believing. God, I know I will receive, but it still haven't happened. Will it ever happen for me? Many of you are looking at time. Many of you are looking at space. Many of you are looking at age because many of you are looking at you. You understand? Stop looking at you. When you look at you, your eyes are no longer on God, and you're going to hinder the activation of your miracles coming into action. If you hinder your excitement, if you hinder how you feel, if you hinder how you perceive, you will lose sight of what God is doing in your life. There is no maybe, you will. You don't want to miss an opportunity that keep being presented before you because you keep looking at you and at the one who should be before you. You don't want to hear what you want to hear all the time. No, you want to hear what you need to hear, which means you may not want to hear every single time because it's causing you to come up higher outside of you and into the things of God, to change and transform things around you. Many of us call on God based and built upon what circumstances we are faced with. Okay, I need Jireh because I see these bills. That's not what Jireh do. See, he doesn't pay bills. He already paid the bill. You understand? You trying to get him to do what he already done. When you know that it's done, you know the victory is won. When the victory is won, you know it's already done. And you know you see it on the side of God, so you already know what you have a right to. You are an inheritor of breakthrough. You are an inheritor of joy. You are an inheritor of miracles. You are an inheritor of blessings and signs and wonders and miracles following. You are an inheritor of the promises of God. You are an inheritor to wait for the glory of God to rest upon your life. You are an inheritor of patience. You are an inheritor of self-control. Know what you inherited. Know what you possess. Stop making it about you. I want a better vehicle. I want a bigger house. I want a better this. I want a bigger that. Look at me. Look at this. Or look at that. Look at mine. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Thou shalt not covet. Do you understand? When you keep Christ in the center of the attention, you're going to have a passion for every word that God mentioned concerning you. See, many of us are treating the promises as if they are talents that God has given to you as a promise concerning a passion he has for you. A passion means that I am willing to take it off of me and put it where it needs to be regarding purpose. It's bigger than just me. It is big because I am involved, but it's not just me in a sense of quantity, nor quality. As a community, we think about culture too much, and it takes away from community. Culture, if not careful, can divide. Community embraces and pull together in unity. Stop thinking about you. I'm waiting too long. I get tore up on the job. They paying me little. I'm working my tail off. I'm still getting up to go somewhere I don't want to go. Stop thinking about you and thank God for placing you where he wants you to be in order for you to receive your breakthrough supernaturally. When you take it off you and do it unto him, then you're going to receive the better side of a thing. There's nothing wrong with waiting. We got like there's something wrong with waiting. I've been waiting all this time. Every generation in the Bible had an issue with waiting, all the way back from when in the kingdom of heaven. Lucifer couldn't wait for God to continue to add unto him holy, 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 that he wanted to be God. You couldn't wait to receive more. You couldn't wait to receive a fresh word. You couldn't wait. Have to learn how to wait. We talk about Abraham and Sarah. God never said, Abraham, you're going to be 100, Sarah, you 90. He just promised a son. So what we do in between the time that God gave us the promise into fruition, that's what we do in our process. But we can make our process a lot more simple, a lot more divine, a lot more exciting if we just stay out the way. Because Ishmael was supposed to be in the process. Neither was a laughter, but God's sense of humor is greater than ours. So we're going to call him laughter, which is from Isaac. There goes Ruth and Naomi. Naomi went back into her hometown. They called her, hey, Naomi, no, call me Mar, because the Lord has dealt bitter with me. But had they called her Mar, she would have lost sight of her breakthrough. Do you understand? You have to put your faith into action. I'm going to continue to praise. I'm going to continue to exercise my faith. Whatever God have you to do, to continue to have you to see it through. That's what you ought to do. Is that about who can tell you, who can teach you? No, how do you feel about him and you? Because God is the one who's in a relationship with you. The intimacy with you and him. He's your refuge. It's good to have support. But it's so much better that you don't need support in a sense that cause your own self individually to abort how you feel inside of you. You have to be confident within you. Everything the way it is because that's how God wanted to be for you. If you are according to his will. If you allow his will to be done in and through your life. See, God doesn't expect us to come to him as if he's not him. That's why he said, those who come to me must first believe and know that I am who I say I am. That's why we can only come in spirit and in truth. Anything else, it would not make sense to God. Because he's not a man that he shall lie. So why would I come to him in a fleshly matter? God will give you everything according to his name because he don't expect you to say anything in his name that's outside of his will. So what is his will for your life? It's not what you write down, what you want. It's you and I write down what he says only. Don't add in, don't take away. What did he say to you? What is he currently saying to you? Because many of us think if I be good, if I be holy, if I act right, if I fast and pray, I can get it faster. He never changes his mind. It's already written down when it's going to take place. You just have to learn how to wait for the time. You understand? There's nothing wrong with waiting. Many of you have given up, became very frustrated. Many of you taking matters in your own hands. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that me and my family or what I get or what I want is going to be how it's going to be in that type of way. There goes Judas' testimony. He felt like, you know what, by any means, I'm going to know what it feels like to have a financial breakthrough. I'm going to know what it's like to take a piece of the pie and not keep being broke. Because if he didn't feel that way, he wouldn't have betrayed Christ by selling them for some coins. And once he realized that it's so much bigger than the coins, I'm not even satisfied by these coins. Here, take them back. No, too late. Oh my God, what did I do? It's not about what we have. It's who we have. It's not about how much we know. It's what we do on what we know. Let me tell you why many of us get upset with each other when we go through persecution amongst each other when we know it's the enemy that's behind it. Why? Because we know that we know better than to be open to allow him to deceive us to tear each other down. I expect enough from you who know God in spirit and in truth, as you do with me in high school, for you to even take my quiz that I studied for you to pass your test. But you let the enemy use you, and I know it's him I come at, but why did you allow him to get in you? Because you open yourself up for yourself to be used by him, and you know better than that. That's why many of us are upset with each other, because we feel like you know better than that. You know how to talk. You know not to talk like that. Why you open yourself up to say words like that? And that's why many of us look at each other. But the thing is, you have to be filled with compassion. And that's the passion of Christ concerning life, and that's people. You have to be filled with so much compassion that nothing can disappoint you regarding what a person can say or do. Because you see him inside of them as you see inside of you. Are you willing to turn the other cheek? And that's not physical. Everything in the word, it starts mental. By the renewing of your mind. By having the mind of Christ. What a man think of in his heart, so is he. Anything you see, hear, understand, it becomes a thought process. And if you pay attention to what you think about long enough, it's going to become an action. That's why many men today are overprotective over their women, because they didn't have a father to show them how to protect their mother. So it's in my mind that my father is a quote unquote deadbeat, or my mother is a quote unquote deadbeat. So I'm going to make it my duty to make sure that my kid is never going to be the way I am. And because I have that at the forefront of my mind, which is unforgiveness, I'm going to walk in exactly that, or I'm going to do things that God don't want me to do concerning that. And it's going to cause our children to run away from us because we're hovering over them just because we feel like we lack the love that we're trying to overwhelm them with. You have to ask yourself, am I honest with myself? Am I honest with God? Why do I want these promises? Why do I want to get married? Because it's so much bigger than just having a baby to carry and, laying up and, ministering to each other, praying and all of that. It's not about how long you stay married. It's how long you know how to stay one. Do you understand? Because you can be married and not on one accord. You can be married in 2 different bedrooms, 2 different bathrooms, don't even care about who and where and what and how. No, it's about staying one. Are we on the same page? Are we eye to eye? Can I agree even though I disagree? My agreement and the disagreement is I would not look less of you. I would not disrespect you. I would not talk down upon you because I don't agree with you. My respect for you is how God respects you. See, marriage is so much more than kiss and hug me, touch me, love me. You will grow. You will grow. You will grow. You will grow in the area of who God has and how to appreciate who he has. You will begin to know how to wait, because the world teaches us every day how to go on blind dates, how to make false moves. You can go out there and pick and choose. No, God has a plan for you. Come on, someone. You think he written a plan, everything else but the person that he had for you to continue in your journey with, alongside with him? When he say 2 is better than 1, then you're going to leave that out of the equation? The glory comes much more when you walk into that manifestation. Do you understand? It must be what he written down. That's the only way you will see what you want God to do in and through your life. You don't need nobody to back up what heaven is backing up. You don't need that. It's good to receive confirmation, but don't let a neighbor confirmation supersede the conversation that you had with Jehovah Jireh as the one who provided you the answer. You don't want to be where you're not supposed to, even at heart, because it's going to hinder your praise. We are ministers, and we can be more effective more today than we ever have been before if we just allow what's in us to activate other people's gifts. Many of you feel like, you know what, I'm way past 50 and 60. I know I don't have any children. I don't even have a man or woman. Just forget it. I mean, maybe I'll just clean to somebody else who has that, and I'll just receive my, satisfaction off of their lifestyle. That's a lie. That's a lie. See, the key characters in the Bible are not for you just to say, oh, wow. It's for you to see that God is still the same. Don't give up on your dream. Don't think it's corny. Don't think it's, you have to be who you are. You have to learn how to open up. Many of us don't know how to open up. We don't even know how to be affectionate. That affection comes from God because he is affection. He is the deed itself. He's love. So if I don't receive him as love, I wouldn't know how to show you love. Do you understand? I can feel so many of us wanting to be married. But the thing is, you have to look at God as your father. He's jealous over you. And it's not an earthly demonic jealous. No, it's a jealousy of honor. I honor you, that you don't dishonor me wanting to be with you and having intimacy with you how it is right now until I place you what I have for you, who I have for you, and when I do. And you will have moments like this. Think about all the things you want to be married for and all the great reasons, and they're great. They're great. Okay, you want to be loved. Okay, you want to be hugged. Okay, you want to be touched. All of that is great. It's more than that, but that's great. That's honesty. I love it. It's modesty. It's great. But when you sit before God and you're in a season of marriage, and when you know that you have grown, this is what your conversation becomes like. You begin to weep because you begin to see God's point of view as your daddy, as the one you have a covenant with, who created the covenant for you to have it with. And when it's time for your life to change and you be joint with, it would never be the way it was ever again. So these are precious moments for him and also you, that's written down in the Lamb Book of Life about you. See, you get up in your own bed and you go fix your food. But when you're married, you're not in the bed by yourself anymore. Now you're doing things you never done before. And now you're cooking for people you never had before. Now people are accumulating. Things are multiplying in your life better than before. It becomes greater, but it's not the way it used to be as before. And God is loving how it is now. So don't take that away from him. I never seen a father rush a daughter down the aisle. Now, you happy she's getting married, but who say, here, get her away from me. Take her off my hands, darn it. You don't see that too much. Even at all, I haven't. You understand? It would never be the same again. Then you picking up your husband or your wife from work, or you're cooking for them on their way home. Why they coming from where they coming from? It's not that way for you if you're single right now. And when you think about how much it's going to change for the better, but it's not going to be the same. You're worshiping God now. They're up with you worshiping, or you walking off while you worshiping, but they're still in a home with you. It's not like you in your own home anymore. It gets better, but it will never be the same as it is before. And you begin to weep like, oh my goodness, this is so big to you, God. This is so big. Why am I rushing? What's so big? That's like if I'm eating a good meal. Why are you rushing me to swallow it down so I can choke? Let me enjoy my food. Let me enjoy every bite. Let me enjoy this movie. Stop telling me the movie. Or stop trying to tell me what the movie is about. Let me watch it. Let me enjoy it. That's how I feel about you. Let me enjoy my time. Let me enjoy my worship. Look at you, my single daughter. Look at you, my single son. I'm going to join you. Of course, I don't want to written it down for you, but let me enjoy it. You don't want God to look at you like I try to tell you. Then look at you arguing. You didn't wait. You wanted to rush it. Now you're not on the same page. You understand? You start to appreciate why God giving you a spouse that he has. You start appreciating how much God really cared for you to give you someone to help you like that. It's not about things. God is Jireh. It's about what's inside of you. What do you have to bring to me? What's inside of me that bring it together as one unto the glory of God. You grow so much, and you know you grown when your speech is different. Let's not be in God's presence always talking about what we want him to do to the one who given it to us to have it. Let's spend more time thanking him. Hallelujah. Don't lose excitement for your passion. And don't think that your passion is a bunch of bull. Let me tell you this. I don't tell this to many people. My junior year in high school, you know they take the PSATs. I was 1 out of 5 with the highest score. My 12th grade year, I was 1 out of 3. So I had teachers that signed me up for college without me even being aware. One signed me up for a beauty pageant in Maryland. And the thing is, I got accepted to 3 colleges, Delaware State, New York State, I don't remember the other one. And I ripped them up because I said, God, I cannot wait to go to school for criminal justice. I can't wait because in my English 11th grade English, I learned about capital punishment, and I loved it because my father was in prison. Oh, I love to learn about death row and, people's justification and people been falsely accused and those who have been convicted, what for them to do and with their time and all these things, pen pals and pay pals and all these things. I'm looking at execution and missing children and people being abducted and all these crimes. I'm looking at America's top 10 most wanted. All these things I wanted to go to college for, to become a judge, to give people the justice that they deserve. And God said, you are not going to college for that. Why not? Because people will always ask me, what are you going to do when you leave high school? And I always had it in me, I want to preach, I'm going to preach. But to the people, that's not a career. So that's nothing. How are you going to live, girl? And I got so tired of hearing that. To the point I started thinking that myself, yeah, how am I going to live? That's not a career, that's a call. Okay, so what do I like? Even as a kid, they give you all these pictures. What do you want to be when you grow up? Choose one. I'm looking at a police officer. I'm looking at a teacher. I'm looking at a bus driver. All these things, a doctor, a nurse. I'm like, I don't see a preacher on here. I don't see nobody who traveling, preaching the gospel. What are you called to do? I'm called to do whatever God want me to do any given moment. So go around and do whatever Christ want me to do as he has done it. So I don't see that on paper. I don't hear that in classes. And that's how it was. I was embarrassed to answer, so I was running from the call. And my scapegoat was alcohol. Then I came across Noah's testimony. Noah didn't drink a lot, but after he fulfilled his assignment, that was big. You on the ark for 40 days with some animals, mostly animals than people. You understand? You can imagine the smell, the stench, and the noise. All that he had to go through. Was it light inside? Or was it just dark? You understand? All these things. And so he built a vineyard after he was done, letting them go where they got to go once they left off the ark. And then you could tell he was, filling that wine. He took all his clothes off. He got hot and he went to bed and woke up and realized something happened. Who touched me? He went to Ham and cursed his genitals. But I'm not going to get into all of that. You understand? It's a whole word for itself. And the thing about it is that God was like, you're not going to be a judge. You're not going to be a lawyer, paralegal. You're not. You're going to go around the world. You're going to travel. You're going to preach. You're going to motivate. You're going to do what I call you to do. I said, but God, it's not good enough. How is it not good enough? Because people are laughing at me. So And now look at how it's helping society. Girl, we need that word. Man, God is healing you. Even those who have graduated with, like, wow. Like, look at the transformation. You went from smoking joints and cigarettes in the school bathroom, oh Jesus, and drinking drinks in a Fruitopia bottle and a Sprite bottle, drinking alcohol in school, to now preaching good news. Man, won't he do it? So, there goes God. I said, okay, not to go to those schools. So I wasn't to go to no school because that was I was going to take up. And God was trying to keep me from hindering my own purpose. So here I am this year, well, year before last. He waited all that time till I mature enough to I accept my call. And now I'm in Bible. God. Majority of the classes, I'm on to the side, I'm crying like, oh my goodness, this is so big. This is so big. I'm in college finally. And it's the college that God wants me to be. It's college for my purpose. It's college that is worth it. It's college to be a blessing. You understand? I got pictures at a time because I'm preaching on my lunch break. Okay, I got 3 minutes. Okay, God. Hallelujah. So you understand? So I'm like, okay. So I'm very excited. God, that's how patient he is. It took that level of time for me to mature, to even receive what, he had for me before. I'm ready. You understand? I thank God for all of it. I thank God for it. So I'm excited about everything that's happening. Be excited for what you call to do. Don't think it's less. Somebody say, I like to ice skate. Well, somebody said that doesn't pay the bills. If that's your gift, you better skate. You better look at those in the Olympics and stop playing. You better skate. You better skate like you on the streets of gold in the kingdom of heaven. You better stop playing. You understand me? Whatever you call, I don't care if you call to boil eggs for a living. You better boil them eggs and you keep boiling them well. You understand? Enjoy your purpose and know that you're worth it. I pray that this bless somebody. I can feel, oh my goodness, apostolic. It took me a while to even really grasp the names to things because sometimes you walking in what you don't even know the name of what you actually been doing for some time. And I thank God for it. Look what he's doing. The apostolic anointing is not a game. I thought about Apostle Paul regarding 2 Corinthians. Every class is according to what I'm walking in prophetically. And they thought Apostle Paul was arrogant. They thought it was pride, all that persecution. He said, the devil is so after me, even the more because I'm an apostle. Because of the revelations I received from God, he's after my revelations. He hates to be exposed. Jesus Christ. Sound familiar? So it's like, wow. Woo. So I got to go now. I go to class. Love you. God bless you.